All right, man, I'm old head, so my mind not as clear as his. So I'm gonna use some notes, make sure I hit all my points I need to hit. All right, because I feel like they're important. Pretty much, man. This is an extension of the one we just heard. It's great. His was great. Mine is about EQ, which is emotional quotient, coaching the whole athlete. I have a podcast, and that was just laid on my heart. It was one of those things where, man, it wasn't me. I was told that I needed to do that. Me being told that I needed to do it, I had to obey. This man will tell you, I hate the camera. I hate it. I can stand back there in the background all day long. I don't never have to be in front of the camera. Okay. So, gonna go ahead and get started. It's pretty long, but I'm gonna shorten it. It's more interactive. So all the interactive stuff I'll push to the back, leave some materials with y'all to self-reflect and things like that. So here we go. This is me. All right. So as we get started, Coleman, for those of you who don't know me, some people know me as the performance guru, and that's because to my core, I'm more of a performance consultant than I am a coach, right? I like to focus on developing the whole athlete. So, when you say guru, people think, oh, he know everything it is. Nah, that's not it. I'm not a super coach. And it's not the fact that X's and O's, strength and conditioning, or the training, that's not it. Being a guru, you know how to make that athlete tick. That's how you get the best out of them. So my background is in exercise science and educational leadership. I have a master's in education administration. I like to specialize in speed, strength and conditioning, track and field. So people look at me more of a track coach. I'm not a track coach. I'm a performance consultant, okay? So what I do goes beyond training. Working with this man has been a pleasure because our ideology is right there together. Our focus is together. We don't really focus on what athletes do. We focus on how they respond, how they show up when things get hard. That's what we care about. Because when life get hard, as a young man, how are you going to respond? You're going to pack it up, you're going to quit, you're going to move on. What are you going to do? So with all that being said, that changed my focus. Coaching athletes, and I'm looking at it, and my focus went more from what an athlete does to how an athlete responds. What they do, how do they work? That was more my focus. I had to shift my coaching. We can all get these great athletes and they boost our ego, make us feel like we that guy. But it's about what that athlete does. What if you get an athlete that's not talented? It does matter what he do in order for you and him to compete. So all that said, everything helped build and root one mindset of mine. And that's what my focus is with my group, my training group. That's what my focus is at school. OWE, outwork everybody. Not everyone, everybody. If it's a damn squirrel on that field, you outwork that squirrel, you get to the end zone first, right? Conditioning drills, you get to that other side first. Outwork them. I might not be as fast as you, but are you gonna work as long as me? I'm gonna outwork you. Will Smith once said in the interview that he was willing to die on the treadmill. Someone asked him, how did he get all these roles compared to some other actors that was more experienced and probably better than him? He said, I'm willing to die on the treadmill. If you're on the treadmill beside me, whether you know it or not, we racing. I'm gonna amp it up. You amp it up, I'm gonna amp it up some more. And at the end of the day, you're gonna quit running before I quit running. So we outwork everybody, okay? So it's not about being talented. It's more about being consistent, being disciplined, and as coaches, convince our athletes to be intentional. That's what it's more about, okay? So the best part of that, every last one of your athletes, they can control that. They can control that. They can control if they're consistent, if they're showing up. They can control if they're disciplined, doing what they're supposed to do, the way that they're supposed to do it. And they can control if they're intentional with every rep. And that's what we say, how you get better. And the kids will say, one rep at a time. You got to be intentional every rep, right? Man, I've coached some talented athletes. I have. Got athletes in the NFL. We got athletes in the NBA. I have athletes that run professional track, plenty in college. That's not what it's about. Those athletes, a lot of them had speed. A lot of them had natural ability. A lot of them had strength, but all of them didn't. And so my job was to instill in them my mindset, what I believe. Outwork everybody. Outwork everybody. Talent will get you in the door, but it's going to take character to keep you there. All right? That's one of those John Wooden quotes, right? So, how do athletes separate themselves? Because you can't control if an athlete come in and he's more physically built than you. You can't really control if an athlete's faster than you. But you can control if he's outworking you or not. I may not be as fast, but I can be more skilled, right? So I stopped with all the physical stuff and I started focusing more on how do they do the work? How do athletes do the work? That's my focus. How do I get them to do the work? That's where OWE comes in. Outwork everybody, right? So with that focus, naturally shifted away from the gifted, talented athlete. And you have to start looking at the person. That's why I say this is a great extension from his. EQ's emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. Who are you as a person? I see as an athlete, you're talented, played college football, all of that. Who are you as a person? Because that stature, that size is only going to get you so far. That physical talent is only going to get you so far. Coach Williams like to say FTNU from the neck up. As coaches, we got to know our kids from the neck up. We got to know what's really right here. Because if we don't, man, we might as well have a robot on the field. So, why does EQ matters? Just a question, just think about it yourself, because like I said, we're going to move on. It's more interactive, but we're going to keep moving because of time. How many of you have coached a highly talented athlete who struggled emotionally or played with? All of you played sports. Talented, but emotionally trash, right? Athletes don't quit sports. They quit environments. You got to make an environment to make an athlete want to be there. You got to make an environment to make an athlete tell a parent, nah, I want to stay here with coach. Nah, I want to stay here with my guys. We have to build that. It don't happen overnight, but we have to build that. And we have to build that with intention. We have to be consistent with it. We have to be disciplined with it. And we have to be intentional. Environments where they don't feel seen, understood, or valued. That's what athletes leave. That's what they quit. They don't quit sports. They quit environments where they don't feel seen, understood, or valued. So it's important to form those relationships. That's pretty much what EQ is all about. There's 5 pillars to it, and we'll walk through that later. So, what is EQ in coaching? Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand athletes beyond performance, manage emotions, yours and theirs, especially under pressure, building trust, accountability, and resilience. We have to build that in these young men. They may trust you, they may be accountable, but are they resilient? Can they stand on the line when that line is hot? When things ain't going their way, when they done lost 8 plays, and number 9 gonna decide whether we win this game or not. Are they resilient enough to stand in there? We have to build that. They're not coming like this. They're not coming built like this. We have to do that. So, first section, as an EQ coach, you have to be a culture architect. You build your culture. Culture is a word everybody uses. They throw it out there. It's a really fun word. You have to build this. How do you become a culture architect? Awareness, connection, and trust. You have to build that. You have to be aware of everything that's going on with every kid and every coach. Everything that's going on in your school, You have to be aware of that. Build that connection. Build that trust. It is not about X's and O's. We have this saying, and that's one of my interview questions too. X's and O's or Jimmy's and Joe's? Because you can be the most knowledgeable coach in the world. But if you ain't got no Jimmy's and Joe's, you're not going to win. On the flip side, you can have the most talented kids in the nation, and you'll win for a minute. If they don't have good character and you don't build all of that and be a culture architect, you're not going to win long. I can promise you that. It's about who we are when the whistle is silent. That's what EQ is all about. Who are we when the whistle is silent? When we're not on the field, when we're not in practice, what are we doing? That's how we become a culture architect. So, key lesson number 1, culture is felt before it is spoken. It's felt. Athletes read tone, energy, consistency. They read that. Man, these kids know. These kids know if you give a damn about them. They know if you don't. Like we had a kid that come over, he's on his way to college, and all our year 1 kids have been coming to McKenzie to work out all summer before they go off to college. And coach always had that example. This kid, one of our kids, coach come, the 5-minute hand clap, shake up, all of that, right? Say nothing else to the kid after that. That's it. Kid felt that. Here we are 4 years later, and the kid told us that story. We know that, but the kid felt that. Your presence sets the temperature. If you come in and you one of those with that fake energy, kids feel that shit. You got fake energy, what they gonna have real energy for? You set the temperature. Key lesson number 2, awareness before accountability. Man, you can't correct what you don't understand. Behavior always tell a story. Our jobs is to find out what that story is. Is this consistent with this kid? This kid always angry? Was this a pattern? We need to know the story. We can't just snap on this kid. We don't know what's going on. Grandma could have died, could have sat there and witnessed dad beat on mom. We don't know. But we're jumping down this road. You can't correct what you don't understand. All you're going to do is kill that relationship. Relationships multiply performance. Trust speeds up coaching. If a kid trusts you, truly trusts you, and you say, hey, man, I need you to run through that wall so we can put a dent in it, and the next 2 replays, we can break it down. If a kid trusts you, he may think that's crazy, but coach said, I need to do this. He's going to do it, and he's not going to think twice about it. You practice different things, you teach kids rules, right? They got keys, all of that. And every once in a while, you got to go off that script, and you got to tell the kid, hey, I know what we're supposed to do, but I know this coach, I know this kid, this is finna happen. So I need you, without thinking about it, just straight go and jump that route. If that kid trusts you, that's what he's gonna do. If he don't trust you, he gonna hesitate and try to look and read the play and then react. Trust speeds up coaching. Fear slows learning. A lot of people like to, especially coaches are the worst. They rule by fear. You don't have to respect me, you have to fear me, because fear is respect. That is not true. Fear slows learning. They scared of you, they don't trust you, they always gonna hesitate. So, just give you something to think about real quick. I'm gonna do this real short, I'm not gonna go into it. And I just want you to think about it. What does your team feel like on a bad day? So if you're having a bad day, what does your team feel? I just want you to think about that. Is it still a safe environment? Or is it a stressful environment? I didn't say when the kid's having a bad day. I said when you're having a bad day.
Kid gonna say, oh shit.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna give you an example, man. Because we up here and people think we up here because we think we're perfect. We far from it. Last year, game day, we had a scrimmage, right? 8th grade waiting to leave because we were on the road. 7th grade was playing at the school. 7th grade coaches didn't come down. 8th grade, we couldn't leave until the coaches got down, or it would have been a gym full of kids, 7th grade football players. So when they finally get down, man, words were expressed, and words were expressed loudly. Like the girls coaches, the kids, they were expressed loudly. And it was one of those things, that ride, 8th grade, to that scrimmage, we already have a rule that you can't talk on the bus, but hell, wasn't nobody trying to talk because they was like, ooh. So it's just something to think about. What does your team feel like on a bad day?
Was it because they never seen that side of you?
I don't think that was it. I think it's because they never seen that side of you. So here we go. Pressure and response. As an EQ coach, man, you got to manage this. Pressure and response. We have to teach it. We have to model it. We have to have them prepare for everything. Regulation, communication, leadership. That's emotional skills under pressure. We got to regulate it. We got to communicate it. And we got to show leadership in those situations. If Section 1 builds the environment, Section 2 is going to test that environment. If we're that culture architect like we're supposed to, and the pressure and response come, it's going to test it. It's going to test it if you're just talking. Coach just saying coach stuff. That's what he's supposed to say. It's going to test it. Or is coach genuine? Is this really how this guy is? It's going to test it. Got a worksheet, but we'll move on from that. But relationship management in coaching. Just want you to reflect on some things, on some relationships with kids. Not the kids you got the good relationships with, but the kids that for whatever reason, it's like a little shaky relationship or a shaky relationship with their parents. You get what I'm saying? Or even your coworkers, teachers, who you have shaky relationships with it. We're going to reflect on that. Then we're going to apply some things, self-assess, evaluate, action step. All that's going to be in these papers that we're going to share at the end. Your ability to manage relationships will determine how far your athletes go and how much they grow. I know everybody outside your program thinks that your program is about winning. Your program is not about winning. If you're doing it right, your program is about growing young men so they can handle pressure situations in life. So if you're doing it right, and you're managing relationships, you have to understand that determines how far those young men go and how much they grow as young men. So here we go. Let's jump into it. Lesson number 1. Emotional regulation is trainable. It's trainable. I had to train myself and still training myself. Man, some of the tools. Pause before you react. Especially in coaching, man. We're up there, our adrenaline high, especially tough situation, games that people expect for you to pull out your behind, you know what I'm saying? That pressure's there. You done covered everything in practice. You know, if we just execute, we got this. And it don't happen. And this kid keep making the same mistake over and over. Man, you have to train yourself. Pause before you react. Name the emotion. Days, he's not working. Once again, we got to figure out why this kid not working, because we can't correct something we don't understand. Name the emotion. Kincaid, why are you lazy? Quit being lazy. It may be that you're just not in it today because something happened in your life that I don't know about. It's my job to figure out why you're not working. So I need to name the emotion versus calling you lazy. You get what I'm saying? Reset with intention. So when those situations come up, you're about to snap, you pause, you gather yourself, reset with the intention of moving to a different place. That play happened. There's absolutely nothing you can do about that play. But we can move forward. How do we do that? How do we get that kid to move forward? We say all the time, flush that, next play, next play. but then we still on the sideline cussing about it, throwing tantrums, all of that. Or we just get real pissed at the kid, pull him off the field, send somebody else on. No correction. No correction. How that kid feeling? Y'all were players. Y'all were players. You get what I'm saying? So how you gonna move on? This is our job, man. They're young men. This is our job. Lesson number 2, communication shapes culture. Your tone, that's greater than your volume. That means more. How you say it versus how loud you say it. Timing is much greater than intensity. Learn to be the man the moment requires. Learn to be the man the moment requires. Let me give this example. Contrasting right here. Coach and I, in practice, I'm a hard coach to play for in practice. I demand perfection in practice. I demand that. Coach is more laid back in practice. My thoughts are, we get it in practice, it's going to carry over to the game. Well, I feel like game time, you got that pressure in the game. So I don't need to be pressuring you in the game. So I'm more laid back in the game. Coach is more laid back in practice, but in the game, he's way more intense because he feels, man, you had your learning curve in practice. You shouldn't be out here making the same mistakes that we've already corrected. So am I truth about that? So it's contrasting, right? But that's how it is. Learn to be the man the moment requires. So his coaching style, because he had the relationships with the kids, that don't really affect them because they understand where he's coming from, how he is, and he don't belittle them, but he has a standard, and the standard is the standard. Me, on the other hand, during the game, I'm more laid back. Mistakes are being made, trying to manage through the game, trying to keep the kid more positive, move on, because I feel the pressure. I know you got pressure. So it's just different. Neither one of them's wrong, but your timing is greater than your intensity in certain situations. Be the man that the moment requires, all right? It may be a moment where you have to snap and go all the way left on that kid. That may be the moment. You have to be that man. But it may be a moment where you got to bring that kid over, pat him on the helmet, put your arm around him. Hey, man, that happened. We can't do nothing about it. How do we turn it around? Questions are greater than commands. We like yelling, telling them what to do, but questions put the responsibility back on the athlete. We have rules. O-line, they have rules. What's your first responsibility? My play side gap. If he didn't step to his play side gap and his man got through and made the tackle, that's it. What's your first responsibility, man? Play side gap. That puts the responsibility back on the player. So coach is more intense because I made the mistake. Coach have rules on defense, alignment, everything. And so we have processes, we have rules. Even when the kid is not, his behavior is not up to program standards, because we have processes and rules in place, we just question them. They feel like we're doing wrong or doing them wrong. Parents feel like we're doing it wrong. We'll bring the kid and the parent in and we ask questions and we let that kid answer the questions. And when it's over with, parent ain't got no problem with us because the parent understand that we taught these processes. We've taught these rules and the kids know them. Questions are greater than commands. Leadership is behavior. It's not a title. Are you the head coach? What that mean? If you're as immature as the kids on the inside, what does it mean that your title is head coach? The loudest guy is not always the leader. Most of the time, never the leader. Real leadership shows in adversity. The toughest times, when you need to be a leader, that's when you have to show up. That's when you have to show up. You can't melt, slide down, and fade away when it's an adverse situation. That's when these kids need you most. Real leadership shows up in adversity. EQ exposes your true leaders when things get uncomfortable. When things get uncomfortable, you see what type of man you are. You see what type of man your kids are. Who are you? That's going to show when things get uncomfortable. We all can be that guy when it's comfortable. We all can be that guy. Who are you when things get uncomfortable. EQ exposes that. Because if you're not an EQ coach, you're not going to make it through that situation. And you're going to tear up a relationship with a person, a kid, a coach, a teacher, an admin that you can't repair. Y'all can move on from it, but you can't repair it. All right. So this situation right here, okay? I actually got a worksheet for it, but we're going to talk through it real quick. Your best athlete disengages. He skips reps, but he still performs. So he's skipping reps and practice and all that, but when it's time, he go out there and show his butt. What is the easy coaching response when your best athlete skips reps, but he still performs? What's the easy coaching response?
Let them keep doing it.
Let him keep doing it. Let him keep doing it, right? He's your best athlete. So what's the easy coaching response? What's the EQ response? We're going to walk through this, all right? So what's the easy response? Calling them out, showing frustration, threatening playing time, taking it personally, or allowing them to do it. We have this thing. If you're allowing it, you're teaching it. If you're allowing him not to work hard, you're teaching him not to work hard. Easy reactions are usually what? Emotional. They're immediate. That means you didn't pause. And they're about control. They're not about growth. I'm the coach. I'm guilty of that. Because when kids not working, especially new kids, we tell them all the time, you don't work how you want to work. You work how we want you to work. That's my saying. I ain't gonna lie to you. You don't come in here and work how you want to work, man. You work how I want you to work, or you go on about your business. And I say that because how I want you to work gonna get us, the vested group, the results that we want. Get what I'm saying? The way you working, it's gonna be disappointing for both of us. So that's the easy reaction. Now let's talk about the EQ reaction. EQ reaction. It's 5 pillars to EQ, okay? It's 5 pillars to it. So we're gonna walk through the whole framework, all right? First off, self-awareness. Before you coach them, you have to check you. That's where that pause come in. You have to check you. I have to make sure that my response is appropriate. Or man, I'm finna mess up this relationship. And this situation finna get worse before it get better. You ask yourself, why is this bothering me? This kid not working, he's skipping reps, but he's going out performing, he's doing his thing. Why is that bothering me? Am I reacting or am I leading? Am I reacting because I'm pissed off or am I being a leader and even responding to this situation? You can't coach effectively from a triggered state. If it's something that's triggering you, and I tell people all the time, he know my saying is, and man, I fell out with coaches in my office because I'm the type of person, man, get that off your chest, bro. Get that off your chest. I'm gonna get it off my chest. Because if I don't get it off my chest, man, it's just like lifting weights. You get to lifting weights, chest get a little big, all of a sudden you think you tough. And eventually that's gonna be a problem. So you hold that, chest getting swollen. Eventually, that's gonna be a problem. Get it off your chest. You can't coach effectively from a triggered state. If it's to the point where you so pissed off at this kid and you can't even coach him, it's not, all right, just let him get toasted. Nah, that affects everybody. You got to get that kid off the field, get somebody else on, and you got to find time. Find a situation where you can get to that kid and get that clear. Coach, no. We've had plenty of kids. It was a kid that's just wasn't doing what he's supposed to do. He's my outside zone kid, and he just wouldn't do right. I pull him off the sideline, I say something, he say something back. Got a real attitude. I was like, hey, I said, man, go stand over there. Go on down there. I said, Coach, you can put him on defense, but he is not getting in on offense until me and him have a conversation.
And then the key component to that, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, go with it.
Was I said, well, if he took you off the field, that's the kids needed to see it. We in our same thing.
Yeah.
If he coming off on offense, he got to come off on defense until you do what he asks you to do. Come talk to him. Then you can come back on defense. Right now, I ain't got nothing to do with that. But that's who I got to answer to. That's who I'm depending on. Because you're going to lead this school in a year. I'm with him, ride or die.
Yeah.
So we're a unit.
So me and the kid had the conversation, got it worked out, got it straight. We was straight. Coach, he good. He good. He was running back / outside linebacker. Actually a better outside linebacker than he was a running back. So it was actually more detrimental defensively than it was offensively because he didn't get many carries on offense. So coach stood on his. We got through to the kid. Great relationship. We didn't tear up the relationship. If I'd have stood right there at the time, that relationship would never be the same. So, pillar number 2, self-management. Don't perform for the group. You stay composed. Just because everybody watching to see what you're going to do, you see he not doing what he's supposed to do. Everybody watching to see what you're going to do. Don't perform for the group. You stay composed. Instead of calling them out, go back to saying things with your standards, things that you've already or should have already set in place. Hey, man, we locked in on reps over here, baby. Come on. Stay focused. What we say. If I see people skipping reps, what I yell out, coach? How do we get better, guys? I yell that out. I might look at them, but I yell that out, and they'll know I'm talking to them, right? Stay focused, man. Don't make a scene. Don't show emotion. Just your standard. Keep that standard. Because you trying to form a relationship, EQ and all that, the standard don't change. It's the same. You hold them accountable. Actually, EQ will hold them more accountable. No scene, no emotion, just the standard. Social awareness, which is pillar number 3. Now we investigate. We don't assume. We ask ourselves, man, is this kid just tired? Is he bored? You know what I'm saying? Is he frustrated? Is this a pattern or is this just a moment? Is this something this kid do all the time? Is it who he is? Or is it just a moment? He just having one of those days. I know this seems like all this takes a while, but you get used to it. It's quick. It hits you. But you have to think like this or you'll tear up that relationship. Behavior is communication. We just have to learn how to read it. Behavior is communication. Why is this kid, my best athlete, skipping reps? Relationship management. Now we go private because real coaching happens in conversation. It ain't out loud in front of everybody so people can get the video, put you on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Real coaching happens in conversation. Hey man, I noticed you skipped that rep. That's not like you. Talk to me, what's going on? What the issue? Coach, I'm tired, man. Coach, I was just so tight. I get their response. But what did you just do? You asked the question and that put it back on who? Yeah. Back on the athlete. Listen first, right? No matter what you say, even if it's some BS, listen first. Don't accuse them. Don't call them lazy. Stay curious. So even afterwards, man, we're going to keep asking questions. We digging. We want to know what's going on. Because your best athlete's going to say, like, even as a parent, kid come home, how was practice? And the best athlete going to say, good. That's it. You're top guy. Everything good? Yep. Because guys like that, we don't see that silent pressure. And they built to do what they need to do, not to let everybody down. Good. Now, keep digging, man. Keep digging. And if it's good, but what you showed that kid, man, coach cared about me as a person. Because those questions had nothing to do with the sport. Coach cared about me as a person. Accountability with leadership. This is where great coaches separate themselves. I need you to lock in, not just for you, but because your standard becomes the team standard. Best athlete. Team gonna follow you. Your standard become the team standard. Now we're not just correcting their behavior, we're developing leadership. Because now we just did what? We put it back on them. Your standard becomes the team standard. These guys want to be you. They want to play like you. They want to be able to do the things you do. And if you skipping reps, what is everybody else gonna do? They're gonna skip reps. Accountability with leadership. So like I said, talent will win. Talent will win reps. But character will build the culture. You're trying to build culture. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Culture is what we're actually coaching every single day. We're building young men. How you respond in that moment decides growth or shutdown. That relationship, y'all will be cool, but that relationship won't be the same. And even when you have to jump in somebody's butt, man, even when you have to, you got to go over here and hold another conversation, because that's where great coaching takes place. And that's got to be a private conversation. And you have to ask questions. And you have to dig. Now, make them snap. Damn, coach, ain't nothing wrong with me, man. I'm good, I promise. Okay. But he'll know you care. So normally I would take a break. And while I'm taking a break, I had this video, and what I did, I posted some text messages between me and some of my athletes, because sometimes people think, oh, they just be talking. It don't really go down like that. But I would play the video and all different kids, different text messages, so people could see, man, he really do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? He really do that stuff. Me and Coach, we big on receipts. We big on receipts. When people don't feel like we are who we are, we big on receipts. We don't have to show it on Twitter and all that. Go talk to our kids. Go talk to our kids. We have football games at the stadium. They have to kick our kids off the field, man. We'll have 30 kids not in uniform because they come back to stand on our sideline. Everybody want to know why. We form those relationships. All right, here we go. So, traditional coaching, EQ-driven coaching. It's just different, right? Old school. And this is said how? Loud. Volume. Lock in. We had this thing, got it from Thor. We need them to get focused. Where your feet at? Because the thing is, your mind and your feet got to be in the same place. Where your feet at? Yeah. Traditionally, you make a mistake, you getting punished, you getting yelled at, you getting yanked off, you running, you bear crawling. Teach the recovery. Man, kid just gave up it's 3rd and 7 and the kid just gave up 27 yards. Shit, he's dejected. He feel bad because he let the team down. It ain't about him letting you down. He let the team down. He already feel bad. Teach the recovery. Why did he get beat? You know what I'm saying? You got to talk to him right there at the moment, because he can't move on because he's still stuck on what happened. So now he finna hesitate. Shit, he finna give up 4, 5 more catches. And then you finna lose it. You know what I'm saying? Volume and authority. Yelling, saying who you are, what you can do. Presence and clarity. You need to be present, and the kid need to understand you there for him, and you need to be clear about what you want him to do, right? Man, hey, I need you to step right to this play side gap, you know what I'm saying? Get on this shoulder of this kid, and let's open this up, right? Can't assume anything. We all know what assuming does, right? We wrote it out before, put the dashes in. We know what assuming does, okay? We can't assume anything. We got to be clear, okay? They want to control athletes. You just do what I say. You just do what I say. Empowered thinking. We're the middle school level, so everybody say, oh, they middle school coach, they can say all this. We do football 101 every year. And we do football 101, and we do it to where, man, you've never seen a football before. That's how we do it, right? because we're trying to teach kids how to let us coach them. If you hear our terms, you see what we're expecting, we're teaching you what we're teaching you. So now when mistakes happen, I can ask you questions. What's your first responsibility? My play side gap. What's your alignment? Okay? Football 101, we empowered thinking. Because coach will tell you, man, my quarterback could come to the sideline and my first question to be, what you see?
See,
Yeah,
what you see,
what you see?
see.
And we might not see the same thing, but we got to get on the same page. What you see? And I've had quarterbacks, believe it or not, say something, and I would totally change my play calling, and all of a sudden, we rolling. And it'd be the slightest little thing that I didn't even pay attention to, but that kid saw it. We have to trust our kids, but we have to build them to where we can trust them. So we'll do this later. I'm gonna send you all this PowerPoint, but just think about it, man. Everybody's had that time where we reacted instead of responding, right? Reaction is good when you're a player. It ain't really good when you're a coach. You have to respond when you're a coach or a leader, not just a coach, when you're a leader, period. What that athlete, what did he feel, you know what I'm saying, when you reacted? Because we never really think about that. You all were high-level athletes and the coach jumped down your throat. How did you feel? And did that coach think about how you felt at that moment? Especially if it was a situation where it really wasn't your fault, but it was your responsibility. You get what I'm saying? What would you do differently now? So those are things that you think about. So no sharing. It's growth work. It's for you to think about, for you to grow. Big takeaway from this, guys. Okay, we're going to connect sections 1 and 2. Section 1, who you are shapes the environment. Section 2, how you respond shapes development. Physical win games, but emotional sustains programs. You can win fast without EQ, but you won't win long. I can promise you that. So some practical tools, all right? Daily check-in. What's your energy, 1 through 5? You just post that up, they come in, and you have to teach this. And coach will tell you, we ask kids questions as they come into the dressing room, as they going out. Hopefully, everyone is attentive and active during the warm-up, because the warm-up is the time where you can form relationships with kids, right? Some coaches will go stand on the sideline while the kids warming up. No, we're active. We're walking with them, we're cracking jokes. But if I ask you what's your energy and you tell me it was a 3, I may be over here while everything going on, we cracking jokes. Hey man, why you a 3 today? What's going on? We can hold that conversation. Didn't get much sleep last night, or man, didn't do good on the test, something like that, right? But you just let that kid know, coach care about me as a person, not just as an athlete, right? Name the behavior, not the character. I see your frustration versus you're lazy. Pressure situations that normalize pressure situations. Pressure means you care. Man, let them know, hey, love you to death, bro, but if you can't get this, I got to get somebody who can. I got to get somebody who can. Model it first. They watch you before they hear you. If your energy is like the situation you was talking about, that energy shows. Man, they don't really feel like we're going to win. You know what I'm saying? Because that coach, his energy ain't the same as going into a week where you know you're going to beat the hell out of somebody. That energy high. Going into a week where you feel like, man, it's going to be tough. That energy is a little different. We're opposite because we're built different. Y'all are high-level athletes. Y'all are built different. That's stuff we have to teach the kids. But they see that. On those days, man, when we about to play certain schools, our energy go out the roof. And that's intentional. We're intentional with that. We're consistent with that. Energy goes out the roof because I need you to understand. Man, I tell them all the time, they put their drawers on one leg at a time just like you do. How you gonna be scared of somebody same age as you? We serious about that. If you don't model it, they won't learn it. That's just bottom line. So, closing message, guys. Our job isn't to create perfect athletes. That's not our job. It's to develop confident, resilient humans. That's our job. But it's the fans' job to want to win all the time. Our job is to develop humans who can perform under pressure on and off the field. Because y'all are in the work world now. It's pressure. You know what I'm saying? So, I got one final question for you. You don't have to say anything. I just want you to think about it. Answer it for yourself. And this should be a goal to yours. When athletes look back years from now, an athlete that you coached, years from now, and they look back, will they remember how hard it was or how supported they felt becoming their best? Keep coaching the whole athlete, guys. Appreciate y'all.